They thought they had broken me. They believed they could strip away my security and life, leave me with pain and despair. They failed to grasp one thing. Cruelty did not destroy my spirit. It forged a very sharp weapon. I wielded it with cold precision. I unraveled their lives thread by. Only hollow echoes of undoing remained. My name is Eleanor, the survivor. This is my story of repayment. The sum was not merely money. It was bedrock of my future. $50,000 saved with care. A fortress against an unpredictable world. Each extra shift I clocked daily. Every social gathering I declined then. Every dream of holiday was postponed. All poured into that sacred fund. A small wedding perhaps later on. Life free from suffocating debt grip. An independent start owing nobody anything. This was my private sanctuary now. My declaration of self-reliance always. One thing belonged unequivocally to me. That fateful morning arrived very soon. Usual gentle hum was replaced then. Cacophony of raised voices in kitchen. Not a warm breakfast conversation at. Sharp clipped tones filled the air, punctuated with a predatory edge now. Creeping dread tightened round my chest. I stepped from my bedroom cautiously, halting halfway down the long corridor. My breath caught in my throat. Father sat at the kitchen table, envelope clutched in his rough hands. It was my private savings envelope. Ryan leaned casually against the counter. Smug grin was on his face, as if claiming a grand prize. Mother stood beside him sipping tea. Faint, unsettling smirk played on lips. Scene was perfectly choreographed for me. Tableau of impending betrayal designed well. Designed to corner me right now. Hand this over to him, Dad. Words devoid of any preamble today. Direct and unyielding in his demand. I blinked, struggling to process words. What did you just say, Dad? He lifted the envelope for display, like a damning piece of evidence. Declaration of ownership over my work. Ryan requires it for his wedding. Proper, respectable family celebration for him. Brother is establishing his life now. You are nowhere near that stage. Sudden adrenaline coursed through my veins. It propelled me forward into room. That is my hard-earned money. Years dedicated to saving every penny. Mother's gaze swept over me dismissively. Her lip twisted into a sneer. You can always save more, Eleanor. You have no one to marry. Ryan does, so he needs it. This is how family functions, dear. We support one another in need. I vehemently shook my head then. Support does not equate to theft. Father's chair screeched across tiled floor. He rose slow and very deliberate. His movements were ominous and dark. Expressed gratitude for this opportunity now. Ryan let out a low chuckle. Sound grated on my raw nerves. Private joke at my own expense. Something deep within me finally fractured. You are absolutely delusional if you. My protest was abruptly cut short. Father moved with unexpected swiftness then. His hand slammed into my side. Searing, crushing impact ripped through ribs. Agonizing wave of pain coursed through. I stumbled backward, colliding with wall. Choked gasp escaped my pale lips. White-hot agony radiated through chest. Every shallow breath was pure torment. My mother laughed an actual laugh. Unrepentant sound echoed in the kitchen. Do stop with the theatrics now. He barely touched you. Eleanor, stop. Ryan did not join her laughter. He did not intervene either today. He strolled over, plucking the envelope, slipped it into his jacket pocket. You merely had to agree, Ryan. Note of casual indifference in voice. I clung to the wall tightly, fighting back the burning tears now, unwilling to give them any satisfaction. Seeing my pain or my fury, Father jabbed a finger toward me. You will recover from this soon. Thank me someday for this lesson. Grasp the true meaning of family. They exited the kitchen together now, a synchronized unit of cold betrayal, like triumphant athletes leaving the field. Resonant slam of front door vibrated. House was silent and very cold. I was a desolate figure alone, left in the aftermath of cruelty. Breathing was shallow and very difficult. Ribs were a pulsating throb now. Mind was a relentless loop today. Replayed every agonizing second of theft. not just the $50,000. Crushing realization they deemed me nothing. I was utterly dispensable to them. Years of relentless effort meant nothing. Unwavering dedication rendered meaningless for them. They coveted what was mine alone, always encroached upon my personal boundaries. My time and my quiet dignity. My personal space was never safe, but never with such callous disregard. Never something I fiercely guarded before. Used violence to claim my future. I lowered myself into kitchen chair, one hand pressed against aching ribs. Physical discomfort served as an anchor, prevented mind from spiraling into chaos. Beneath the raw hurt lived resolve. Beneath profound disbelief lived a plan. Chilling resolve was taking root now. Not a fully formed strategy yet, but an unshakable conviction of heart. Next steps would not be pleading. I would not beg for stolen. Their losses would far exceed money. They would forfeit something more precious, something vulnerable to my quiet touch. Precious things they had not recognized. Subsequent days unfolded in deliberate slowness. Persistent dull ache accompanied every breath. Constant reminder of the recent assault. This was a very calculated performance. Needed them to believe I broke. Shattered and defeated was my mask. If they were convinced of acceptance, complacency would blind them to me. Intricate web woven in the shadows. I nurtured my pain for strength, turning it into a silent shield. At work, I started lingering late, long after my shift ended daily, not for the usual overtime pay. Hours of undisturbed solitude were needed. Quiet stretches allowed me to build, construct my roster of retribution now. Not a simple inventory of items, precise catalog of their many vulnerabilities. Things they could least afford lose. Thoughts were razor sharp and clear. Pinpoint their softest spots with ease. Father's Achilles heel was his reputation. Meticulously cultivated contractor association image. Now the intricate network was his very lifeblood. Lucrative jobs flowed from this source. Foundation of his business survival here. Pride and livelihood hinged on integrity. Image of reliability was his shield. Tarnish that to sever his roads. Mother's weakness was her social capital. Sprawling delicate empire of favors owed. Complex tapestry connecting all the neighbors. Charity connections were her only currency. Social standing was her only shield. Without it, she was ordinary woman. Ryan was the esteemed golden son, paragon of dependability in their eyes. Vulnerability was his meticulously crafted persona, image projected to wealthy in-laws. Trustworthy and responsible was the goal. Facade was his most valuable asset, essential for his upward social climb. Entire future was a house cards. Approach would not be direct assault. Overt moves would be too transparent, too easily traced back to me. Initiated a series of subtle maneuvers, actions so unassuming on the surface. They would appear entirely innocuous now. Silent predator moving in the shadows, leaving no discernible tracks behind me. Coffee meeting with father's old client. I accidentally let slip a remark, innocent mention of a large deposit. Money given for work never done. Complete fabrication and a total lie. Air of plausible truth was added. Plant a seed of deep doubt. Tiny splinter under fingernail of trust. Lunch with mother's charity board member. Casually. Inquired about private expense rumors. Covertly siphoned from the event budget. Never explicitly. Named my mother once. Scattered seeds of suspicion in gossip. Whispers would do the rest work. Friendly chat with Ryan's future father. Commented on Ryan's generous wedding fund. Mentioned he accepted money from me. Watched the polite smile slowly congeal, freezing into a mask of unease. Golden sun image, fractured beyond repair. These were meticulously planned slow poisons. Imperceptible leaks designed to erode them. Hairline fractures forming in their lives. Invisible to them for right now. Potent enough to destabilize their structures. Not aiming for a swift victory. A prolonged agonizing collapse was better. Sabotage rippled through their cherished networks. Attention pivoted back to the money. Envelope Ryan took was a decoy. Prop filled with small bills today. Blank papers were inside the envelope. Genuine 50,000 remained untouched now, securely nestled in my private account. Safe was not enough for me, transmuted into something very immutable. Undeniable testament to my own resilience. Tangible reminder of my quiet triumph. Forced to witness it every day. Monument to independence built on theft. I made a pivotal phone call. Mr. Ivers managed a property company. I did bookkeeping for him once. Investment will be worthwhile, he said. Forgotten promise now ripe for fulfillment. Met for coffee to discuss business. Desire for visible investment in town. Partner in prime rental property soon. Charming shopfront in heart of downtown. Parents pass by. Multiple times weekly. Legal documents bore my name only. Prominent and undeniable public. Declaration now. Shopfront would not remain vacant long. Ideal tenant for the next stage. Marcy was from Mother's Charity Circle. Searching for affordable location for boutique. Previous lease had recently skyrocketed up. Enticing offer she could not refuse. Reduced rent for. One simple condition. Emblazon my name in gold letters. Bold ornate letters on front window. Owned. By Eleanor, it proudly proclaimed. Positioned perfectly for my mother's eyes. Miss it every time she shopped. Constant glittering reminder of my ownership. Independence and carefully engineered resurgence here. Golden arrow aimed at self-importance. Wedding date loomed 3 weeks away. Fishers were starting to manifest now. Father grumbled about false rumors daily. Contractor group was talking behind. Back. Mother frantically making extra phone calls. Clarifying misunderstandings with charity board members. In-laws adopted a distant demeanor. No suspicion I was the orchestrator. Silent architect of their mounting anxiety. Blindness was my greatest asset today. They thought I was stripped bare, oblivious to the empire I built. Setting stage for perfect final culmination. Experience insignificance they inflicted on me. Morning of Ryan's wedding finally arrived. No effort to join family early. Our SVP was a yes for execution. Calculated entrance for the final phase. Cracks were expanding and fracturing now. Father stood outside the reception hall. Jaw clenched tight with phone out. Review for unresolved. Client disputes started. Innocent coffee sparked a chain reaction. Members recalled other long, forgotten incidents. His world was collapsing very fast. Glided past him without a word. Eyes darted away from mine nervously. Shame was palpable in his stance. Mother was a whirlwind of pacing. Stern-faced women from board followed. Voice sharp and almost pleading now. Boutique rent check was the problem. Rerouted to me instead of charity. Board member saw the gold lettering. Owned by Eleanor sparked hard questions. How did I acquire prime property? Origins of my savings were questioned. Mother's narrative began to unravel spectacularly. Social mask was cracking in public. Ryan was in a private room. Intense conversation with the in-laws. Stack of papers held in hands. Decoy envelope details. Mailed to them. Long overdue debts were finally exposed. Deferential smile of father was gone. Disgust and stark disbelief took over. Golden boy image turned to dust. No need for dramatic public scene. Damage was spreading like insidious poison. Professional pride of father was shattered. Social standing of mother was crumbling. Persona of Ryan was irrevocably tarnished. Silent. Observers seated in the back. Effortlessly blending in with unknown relatives. No attempt to approach or confront. Bubbling cauldron of confusion for them. Escalating suspicion and whispered judgment now. Gratifying than any shouted accusation ever. Their silent torment was my symphony. Departed the reception with long rote. Deliberate detour past the gold shopfront. Marcy was ranging dresses in window. Afternoon sunlight caught the gold letters. Bold lettering proudly bore my name. Ribs held a faint, tender ache. Realization washed over me like water. Money they stole was actually secure. Transmuted into symbol of my victory. Power they held was irrevocably gone. Evaporated into thin air right now. Left with bitter taste of hubris. Father's review escalated into formal suspension. Devastating. Blow cost him to contracts. Charity board held an emergency meeting. Voted her off the board. Immediately. Reign of social influence was over. Wedding photos were posted online later. Faces of in-laws appeared rigid. Smiles were brittle and almost forced. Quiet whispers soon confirmed the lack. Financial control assumed after the honeymoon. Stark testament to their lack trust. None of them ever confronted me. They did not need to speak. Averted eyes spoke volumes to me. Tight expressions showed they knew truth. I was the architect of misfortune. They could find no tangible proof. Potent and enduring revenge was mine, inhabiting state of agonizing uncertainty daily, wondering when next crack would appear, next cherished pillar would slip away. They brutally shattered my ribs once. I systematically dismantled their lives now, piece by agonizing piece in silence. Hollow sound of crumbling reputations remained. I walked through town with head. High and steady was my gait. Ribs had healed, but memory stayed. Father's business office was dark now. Signage removed from the main street. Association had turned its back completely. No one called him for work. Retirement was forced and very bitter. Mother rarely left the house anymore. Lunches and teas had all stopped. Phone was silent throughout the day. Influence had turned into public embarrassment. Ryan lived in a small apartment, under the thumb of the wife. Her parents watched every single penny. No more grand prize for him. Just the echo of stolen dreams. My $50,000 grew well. Shopfront was a beacon of light. Marcy's boutique was always very busy. Gold letters sparkled in the rain. Owned by Eleanor stood the test. I am no longer just daughter. I am the woman who won. They taught me about family value. Value of being careful with trust. Value of standing for oneself. Silence is the loudest scream ever. Patience is the sharpest blade ever. I do not hate them now. Hatred takes too much energy away. I simply look through them today. They are transparent and very small. The kitchen feels like long ago. The pain is a distant ghost. My new house is filled light. Walls are thick and very safe. Doors are locked to the cruel. I sleep peacefully in the night. Conscience is as clear as glass. I took nothing that wasn't mine. I simply let their sins speak. Reputation is a mirror of soul. Theirs was cracked from the start. I just showed them the reflection. Brother's wedding was a funeral too. Burial of the lie they lived. Mother's charity was a hollow mask. Father's business was a house sand. I am the rock that stood. I am the tide that turned. Every gold letter is a vow. Vow to never be broken again. Vow to never be secondary again. 50,000 was just the start. Freedom is the true ultimate wealth. I breathe deeply without any ache. Ribs are strong and heart is. Heart is shielded by the truth. I see them in the grocery. They turn the other way fast. They cannot look at gold letters. They cannot look at my success. It burns their eyes to see the dispensable one thrive. I am the owner of future. I am the captain of soul. They are just the fading echoes. This is how I repaid them, with the truth of who they, and the truth of who I. The weapon is now a tool to build a better world. For those who are also broken, I will help them build fortresses against the predators of the home. My name is Eleanor, the Free. This is my lasting final word. Silence is the best revenge ever. Living well is the second best. I have both in my hand. The envelope is finally full now, full of life and real peace. No more decoys or blank papers. Just the golden ornate truth here. I walk past the kitchen now, into the garden of my choice. Repaid in full and with interest. Finally exquisitely and beautifully free now.